What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Poppy JT coming at you with my Oklahoma versus Alabama college football playoff predictions. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content. I do college football videos and NFL videos, so make sure to subscribe. So let's get into it. So Alabama's defense versus Oklahoma's offense. Can Kyler Murray surge past Alabama? They might be without their star wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown, but Oklahoma's coaches and staff are hopeful that he might be able to return for the Alabama game. They're still running tests. I will have an update video on Marquise Hollywood Brown when I get some more information. But right now, he's hopeful to play for the Alabama game. So I'm just going to count him in as not playing until I get more. And now we got Alabama's high-flying offense against Oklahoma's less than desirable defense. So I have the team I have winning. I'm stick around to the end of the video, but whoever I have winning, the winner is going to have at least 48 points. So let's get into it. The offense and defensive comparison, comparing the Alabama offense to the dreadful Oklahoma defense. Oklahoma might as well not play defense considering how their stats look, but Alabama's offense is fourth in the nation in total yards per game with 538. They're sixth in the nation in passing yards per game with 332.1. They're 32nd in the nation in rushing yards per game with 205.9. And the second in the nation in points per game with 49, only behind Oklahoma. So the Oklahoma defense, should I even talk about the Oklahoma defense? You might as well not, because these are terrible stats. They're 111th in the nation in yards per game allowing 449. They're 126th in the nation in passing yards per game allowed with 286.6. And they're 63rd in the nation in rushing yards per game allowed with 162.4. And they're 100 in the nation in points per game allowed with 32.8. So the Oklahoma defense is terrible, but I'm going to stick up for the Oklahoma defense. If Ohio State and Georgia were in the Big 12, they will be allowing this many points as well. The way that the Big 12 is set up, they have a whole bunch of gimmicky offense that are set to produce a lot of points. So really is nothing that really any team in college football can do to stop the onslaught of points. The Big 12's best defensive team is Texas, and they're around like 63rd in the nation and total defense. So it's not really a lot these defenses can do to stop these offenses. So that I'm just taking Oklahoma's side of why their defense is so bad. But maybe against Alabama, the defense might show up. But their defense is built off key stops. That's what they preach in the Big 12. Key stops on defense. So now it's time to compare the Oklahoma offense to the Alabama defense. Oklahoma is number one in the nation in total yards per game with 583.8. They're eighth in the nation in passing yards per game with 319.4. They're eighth in the nation in rushing yards per game with 264.3. And they're number one in the country with 50.3 points per game on offense. Now, Alabama's defense is sixth in the nation in yards per game, giving up 282.2 yards per game. They're 10th in the nation in passing yards per game allowed with 168.2. They're 15th in the nation in rushing yards per game with 144. And they're third in the nation in points per game allowed with 13.8. So now it's time for the keys to victory that each team needs to execute and able to have a chance to win this game. Alabama's has to contain Kyler Murray, first turnovers, and limit big plays. Alabama's defense is good in my opinion. I don't think this is a terrible defense at all. They're very, very fast and athletic. And this team is built to try to stop teams with quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, with linebackers like Dylan Moses, very, very fast. And if they are able to limit the big plays, because Oklahoma has an explosive offense with playmakers like Marquise Brown and CeeDee Lamb, these guys can score at will. So the big thing that teams fail to do against Oklahoma, they fail to limit the big plays like 50, 60 yard, 70-yard plays. If Alabama is able to keep everything in front of them and keep these wide receivers from getting behind them, I think that will have a big impact on the amount of points that we will see Oklahoma score, and Alabama will have a good chance of winning this game. And they also have to contain Kyler Murray. If they're able to contain Kyler Murray, I think if you're able to contain him as a runner, limit his ability to extend plays, create plays, and force him to strictly stand as a pocket passer, you have a good chance of winning the game, even though he's pretty good passing the ball as well. So it's pretty much pick your poison. And Oklahoma has to get pressure on Tua. And when you get pressure on Tua, you force him to do a lot. I think that's Tua Tagovailoa's biggest downfall. He tries to do too much. He holds on to the ball too long. He's scrambling around, throwing the ball across his bodies, all these crazy plays, and he just does too much when you get pressure on him. So if Oklahoma is able to have their pass rush going and get into Tua, I feel they can get some turnovers, and they will go to my next key, which is getting key stops on defense. And the Big 12, even though the defenses are terrible, good defense in the Big 12 is getting key stops and key turnovers. Like how Oklahoma did a few weeks against West Virginia and Texas. They were able to get clutch defensive stops and clutch defensive turnovers, and that's what Oklahoma's have to do this game. The team that's going to win this game is going to be the team who has the ball in their hand last. And if Oklahoma is able to get these key stops and key turnovers, they most likely will be the team with the ball in their hand last. And also, they have to get Kyler Murray to extend plays and create plays. Alabama's weakness and flaws are quarterbacks that are able to create plays, extend plays, like we have seen in the past with Deshaun Watson and Johnny Manziel. Kyler Murray is the best dual threat quarterback that Alabama has ever faced. He's going to test them in everywhere imaginable. And if Kyler Murray is able to extend plays and create plays, they're going to have a pretty solid chance of being Alabama, like we have seen in the past. Like I said earlier, Deshaun Watson, Johnny Manziel. If you're able to extend plays and create plays with your feet, keep plays alive, throwing downfield to the wide receivers, you're going to have a good chance of being this Alabama team. And we have seen that in the past with Johnny Manziel and Deshaun Watson. So now it's time for my prediction. The team I have winning this game, this might upset a lot of people, but I have I have Oklahoma winning this game. Now, a lot of people might be like, "Oh, but Alabama's defense is so trash. It's so good, and Oklahoma's defense is so trash." Well, I know that, but Oklahoma's offense is able to score what their defense gives up. So I believe Oklahoma will be the team with the ball in their hand last. And like we have seen a lot in college football, good defenses are only good if their offense is able to produce a certain amount of points. Michigan's defense was all hyped up, best defense in the country, and Ohio State came in and they put 48 on them or 40 points on them. So I believe the team with the best offense in this day and age of college football is going to be the team to win, and that's why I have Oklahoma winning. I have Oklahoma beating Alabama 48-45. It's going to be a very, very tightly contested game, but I believe that's how Oklahoma is going to win. They're going to be the team that have the ball in their hand last, and they're going to score, and they're going to win the game. So I have Oklahoma winning. Let me know who you guys got winning down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe.